Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with the 3D printing video of this week. We are back with Dragon Trappers Lodge once again to showcase their monthly bundle here on the channel. So last month we did Fluffy, which was a Snorf they did, and I absolutely loved this. The problem I had with it is that I printed off a miniature that was slightly too big to do in a single video, so I just focused on her face. I had an amazing time getting that gnarly, awesome face done, and then on my streams, I finished up the rest of her, including her base. So now I have a beautifully finished, painted Snorf, who I've affectionately nicknamed Fluffy, and basically, this is exactly kind of what happened in today's video as well. I actually printed off 2 miniatures from Dragon Trappers this month. I printed off a really nice, cool skeleton character I will talk about a little bit later, and then this awesome kind of chained angel model, but obviously it was a lot larger. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it done in a single day, and originally I was supposed to paint the skeleton miniature and just show you guys how cool the kind of fallen angel piece was. But as soon as they were both printed out and ready to go, I just started slapping paint on the angel. It was just so cool a piece. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did with Fluffy because I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the bigger pieces, and that is I'm going to focus on one key thing with the angel, and that is I'm going to focus on red demonic skin for him. And then I'm also going to get the rest of the bits kind of base coated and a wash thrown on the model. And then over the course of my next couple of streams, I will get him finished off and looking swish. If you didn't know, I also stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday between 8 and 10 p.m. Irish time. So if you're interested in jumping along and seeing this model get finished up, then join me there. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in and get this angel painted. Okay, so this is originally the character that I had chosen to paint. I got him 3D printed. I even busted him up a little bit, so I printed him at 150% size because I wanted him to be kind of nice and sizable on camera. Not too much, but just big enough so the camera will kind of pick it up better. I also printed this thing off, and this is exactly what I was talking about. I printed this off just to show you how cool some of the miniatures are from Dragon Trappers Logs that I don't generally have time to do in a single video. But I wanted to start showing them to you guys anyway, showing you the quality of them, so I've been printing them out anyway. And all of a sudden, before I knew it, this thing was sprayed to match, and then all of a sudden I figured out, how am I going to paint this thing? This is what I want to paint now. So I worked hard and decided on showing you guys a new skin technique, which is going to be red demonic skin. I'm going to go through it in a little bit of detail. You're only going to need 3 paints. We're only going to go through a triad system of colors. We're going to talk about the kind of the volumes of it, where you're supposed to highlight, why, how much, all that kind of jazz. Now, I sprayed the miniature black and then gave it a hat and like a zenithal spray of a gray, and you can see what that has done. It has defined all of the kind of nice shadowy areas on the miniature already for you. Now, you do not need to do this. If you are doing a triad system of painting, the base paint is designed to go over the black, so you could just, block in it with the base color, just like I'm about to do here. But I do find that it's easier to know where to put the base color if you do the zenithal. It shows you all the details on the miniature. It all pops up and it all looks great. So Berserker Red, Sanguine Scarlet, and Demon Red are the 3 colors from 2 thin coats that we are going to use to do on this thing. Now, if you do not use 2 thin coats, you only use something like Citadel, or you use Army Painter, there is a conversion chart which will give you the alternate paint for each of these for your preferred or chosen paint range. So you don't have to run out and buy 2 thin coats, even though I think it's a really good paint. Like I said, you can use your own paints. Just check the conversion chart and get those paints instead. So I'm going to start with a nice solid block color of the first red, the Berserker Red. I'm going to work around trying to find all the nooks and crannies. I do not want to leave any of it behind. This is going to be the simplest stage. Like, even as I was painting, I didn't realize he had bare feet, and then you can see a little bit of his ankle showing through the armor bits and stuff like that. Once that's done, it is then actually time to work on the kind of volume. So we jump up to Sanguine Scarlet. Now, luckily for us, a miniature like this is jacked. And painting jacked miniatures is so much easier because all their volumes are so clearly defined. Those big pectoral muscles, the rippling abs running down the body, not the kind of bit that goes in from where your ribs start, your diaphragm or whatever. Even like his neck muscles up into his chin and his face, it's all so well defined. It's so easy to find the volumes that you want to highlight. And first of all, this is kind of that stage where there's a couple of different things you need to consider. So first of all, like I said, we are going to be highlighting the raised areas. We're going to leave all the deep recesses between the muscle nice and dark. We want to leave those that original color. But the majority of the rest of the muscle, we are going to highlight with that second stage of red, that Sanguine Scarlet. Now, there is a couple of things to think about. And one of them, not a lot of people do think about, but I think it's important. First of all, you're not looking for like a crazy solid block coat. You want a kind of scratchy highlight. If a little bit of that kind of browny red shows through all across, that's totally fine. As you can see, I'm not doing like solid strokes. I'm doing little scratchy ones. As you can see, I'm just going in, kind of almost like I'm etching the muscles. Etch, 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 etch. I'm not trying to get solid coats. With that technique, it starts to look much more natural. If you don't look at a piece and see this solid block of color, which is so unnatural, you will very rarely see that, especially in anything actually natural, like skin or wings or fur or anything like that. Scales, you shouldn't see it. Even on a tank, you may think, well, the tank is just blue. Well, if you ever actually look at a tank in real life, you know, even pictures of one, you will know that it is not a smooth, solid color. They are chipped and they are pitted and they are imperfect pieces. And the more kind of scratchy volume that you give to a piece with that, it's going to make all the difference. An extra benefit of that scratch thing is you can do a thing which is basically following the musculature, almost like the shape. So if you see some like pectoral muscles and the guy stretches his shoulders back and the pecs stretch, you'll notice the lines go from left to right. They don't go up and down. So if you're doing that scratchy highlight, don't do it up and down, do it left to right. It will trick your mind into seeing something much more natural than it actually is. And I promise you, if you go up and down, you will look at it and it will seem wrong and you will not be able to figure out why. It will just look bizarre. Hopefully that makes sense to a lot of people. Of course, then we jump up to our final highlight, which is the demon red skin. And we just add a couple of extra scratchy highlights to some of the more raised areas. And as you can see, there's definitely gaps between each of those like lines because we want those other colors to be showing through. It's just that final jump of color just to make it look excellent. I had decided that I was going to do some sort of like crazy thumbnail, like kind of a clickbaity thumbnail, like what does Sanguinius look like if he fell to corn or something like that, which is kind of what this guy reminded me of. But I find it, but those kind of titles to be a little bit disingenuous, and I try to avoid them as much as possible, even though I knew if I put that title on, this video would get more views than it's currently on. But I try to be as honest with you guys as possible. So I think making it about highlighting and painting demonic red skin, I think is true to my word, is what I'm showing you in today's video. Hopefully you are learning a little something. Hopefully you guys will be comfortable going away and painting up some corn demons. And remember that the triad system is an amazing thing because I'm not teaching you how to paint red skin here realistically. I'm showing you how to highlight all skin. I'm just using red paints. So you can go away and do a Nurgle demon one and just use 3 green paints or 3 pallid kind of off-white color schemes or paints, and you'll receive the same thing. You'll get the same great results. You know, use pinks and purples to get Slanesh, blues to get your Zinch, and just have fun with it. I find this style of painting is extremely therapeutic. Obviously, I'm not going to do it if I've got a tournament in a week and I need to get an army painted. But if you're telling yourself, I've got 2 hours to paint and I'm going to sit down and paint for 2 hours, and you're not pushing yourself to get something finished, you're just sitting down for the sake of it, then try painting like this for a little while. I swear to God, it's changed my whole life when it comes to painting. Like my entire painting journey was always about trying to get stuff done as fast as possible, because the enjoyment for me was kind of putting that last brush stroke on, holding the miniature back and being like, that's done, I feel good. But now with this kind of style, a triad system and the scratchy paint schemes, I'm just in love with the kind of process of painting. Even now, getting the skin done, and then all I'm going to do here with the rest of the time that I have in the day is put some base coats on, maybe a wash. I'm actually going to try and get some kind of fiery blade technique. So the first thing I'm going to do is reds, and then I'm going to go through some dry brushes. I'm going to dry brush orange, I'm going to dry brush yellow, I'm going to dry brush white. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to say that fire is backwards. I'm well aware. I just think it looks better this way, especially on miniatures. I know the white is supposed to be closest to the center of the fire, and then the further it gets out, it gets darker and darker until you hit black. Not for me. Red, orange, yellow, white. I've been doing it this way for years, and I love it. But yeah, try and follow along. Try it yourself. Try and have a little bit of fun with painting. I think you'll You'll learn a lot more about painting if you're enjoying the process than you will if you won't. You know what I mean? Like if you're just constantly trying to rush to the finish line, then like I said, I don't think you're going to pick up as much as you can on the way. There's definitely pieces about this that by the time I'm finished with it today, that I'm not happy with. The skin looks great and I'm really pleased, but the rest of it is very much locked in that ugly stage, and people have to get over that ugly stage. And that's where going into my streams, it's going to be a lot of fun to try and pull apart those wings and actually make them look really pretty, and get some color back into them, whether even though it's just black or whether it's just the kind of off-white gray, or get those chains highlighted properly, or get some glowy eyes in there, the metallics, the gold, the silver. I think this is going to be another piece like Fluffy, my Snorf, that is just going to be awesome when it's done. It's going to sit pride of place on my shelf. And I don't have any actual use for this. I've put it on its actual Dragon Trapper's base. And usually I put the models that I use from these guys onto, so for instance, Fluffy's on the right size base to be used as a Mangler Squig in the old world. And that was my initial kind of point of owning her. And she was going to be orange to match in with the rest of my squigs. And on the day I was just like, nope, I want pink. I'm going to paint her pink because I want to play with the triad of pink colors and have a lot of fun with it. And I did, and I most certainly do not regret it. Fluffy may be the best thing that I've ever painted now. And that all came with just following my gut and enjoying the process. So hopefully this video has not been too waffly for you, not too kind of ranty. You've picked up a few bits and pieces, whether it either be painting or just a little bit of painting advice when it comes to slowing down and trying to enjoy yourself. I think both points are valid and should be in your toolbox. Yeah, you're definitely going to get more done if you're enjoying it, right? That just seems like a no-brainer. So here he is, like I said, really happy with the red. The rest is a mess right now, and we will work hard and tirelessly in some streams to see how they turn out. But you can see the difference. Because we've gone through the entire process, and with the skin, it stands out from the rest of it, which is just base coated and washed quite a lot. Here's a couple of moody pictures to give you an idea of how much that skin will pop on like a D&D board. So imagine opening a room and having that miniature in the middle of the room and your party has to interact with it. How terrifying would that be? I think it'd be awesome. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing the finished result in the next few weeks. Okay, guys, and there we have it, the not finished Angel of Death. Like I said, I focused on the red skin, the demonic skin. I decided to make it more like a fallen angel originally, and I think that's really cool, and it plays it. I do normal skin quite a lot on my channel, so I decided to play it off and show you guys a little bit of red demonic skin. You can use it for all corn monsters or anything like that you want to do. Works perfectly. So I had a lot of fun getting the skin done. I was really pleased with the result, and I had a little bit of time left in the day, so what I decided to do was to get base coats and washes on the rest of the piece. So now it's a really nice stage for me to just pick it up during my streams, pick a specific part of it, and then start the layering process. So I think I'm going to start with the wings first because they are a huge portion of the rest of the miniature, and I'm going to individually layer up all those different feathers, and it's going to look really cool. Hopefully you guys liked this video, the showcase on the red skin, and you really like the miniatures that you've seen. If you do like the miniatures that you've seen, you want to see more of them, I will link Dragon Trapper's Lodge down in the description below. You should go check out their monthly bundles over on My Mini Factory, and also their backlog of awesome pieces. You might be able to snag yourself a Snorf. I thoroughly recommend everybody should own a Snorf. And yeah, check it out for yourself, and if it's something for you, think about signing up. It's really cool. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in supporting me, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to my channel, comment, and if you want to support me even further, check out my Patreon below. Access to private Discord server and an extra vlog style video from me every day are just two of the awesome benefits. So if that's something that excites you, check it out below. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.